The story of what happened to Inuit health when traditional foods were replaced by imported modern foods is one of the most rapid and consequential dietary transitions documented in medical literature. Within roughly 2 generations, from the mid-20th century through the early 21st, Greenlandic Inuit populations went from virtually zero prevalence of type 2 diabetes and obesity to rates approaching those seen in the most metabolically troubled Western populations. A dietary pattern refined over thousands of years of evolutionary selection, delivering exceptional nutritional density with minimal processed food burden, was displaced by white flour, sugar, vegetable oils, and processed imports. The metabolic consequences were immediate and severe. The biological mechanism behind this disaster is increasingly well understood. Traditional Inuit diets kept blood glucose low and stable through minimal carbohydrate intake and high protein and fat content. Insulin secretion was modest, insulin sensitivity was preserved, and adipose tissue regulation functioned within normal parameters. Introducing refined carbohydrates and sugar into this metabolic context, particularly rapidly and in large quantities, exposed a population that had no evolutionary or metabolic preparation for high glycemic dietary loads. The pancreatic capacity to manage the insulin demand of a high-sugar diet, the liver's ability to process fructose from processed foods, and the gut microbiome's adaptation to fiber from grains were all unprepared for the transition. The result was accelerated metabolic breakdown. This is not unique to the Inuit. Identical patterns have been documented when indigenous populations in Australia, the Pacific Islands, Sub-Saharan Africa, and the Americas underwent rapid dietary westernization. The commonality is the speed of transition combined with the magnitude of dietary change, from nutrient-dense whole animal foods to calorie-dense, nutrient-poor processed alternatives. The body cannot adapt metabolically in 2 generations to changes that took tens of thousands of years to produce in the opposite direction. A strong warning for modern dietary transition advocates: the reverse direction carries its own risks. Individuals transitioning rapidly from standard Western diets to very low carbohydrate or traditional-style high-fat diets also experience metabolic stress, the keto flu, electrolyte dysregulation, and digestive disruption during the transition are documented phenomena. The Inuit record does not support abrupt dietary overhauls in either direction. It supports the observation that metabolic systems evolved slowly and respond best to gradual change. The practical lesson is about transitional strategy rather than endpoint. Reducing processed food incrementally, replacing refined carbohydrates with whole food sources, increasing protein quality, and monitoring biomarkers, fasting glucose, triglycerides, HbA1c, through the transition provides the feedback needed to navigate change safely. The Greenland experience should be read as both an inspiration for the metabolic benefits of traditional whole food nutrition and a cautionary tale about the catastrophic consequences of replacing it too fast, with too little, for too many people at once.